We start here at 6 tonight with breaking news. President Trump backing off his threats to launch a large-scale attack against Iran, citing progress in negotiations. Let's get right to political reporter Chris Ty, who has the latest on this situation that really just changed in the last 20 or 25 minutes.
Since you signed off at 5 o'clock and we kicked on here at 6, at 7 o'clock Chicago time, Joe, had been the focal point, of course. If Iran did not hammer out a deal acceptable to the president, which included, among other things, reopening the Strait of Hormuz, the president said, and I'm quoting here, "A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again." He said, "I don't want that to happen, but it probably will." 90 minutes before an air campaign to knock out bridges and power plants would have been triggered, the president posting a 2-week ceasefire is now on, pending the opening of the strait. Here's what he wrote on Truth Social, saying, and I'm trimming this down, he says the Prime Minister and Field Marshal of Pakistan said that they wanted him to hold off the destructive force, subject to Iran agreeing to the complete, immediate, and safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz. I agree, the president said, to suspend the bombing and attack of Iran for a period of 2 weeks, calling it a double-sided ceasefire. Again, these are the president's words. The reason for doing so, Trump said, is that we have already met and exceeded all military objectives and are very far along with a definitive agreement concerning long-term peace, saying the White House received a 10-point proposal and believe it is workable based on ways to negotiate further. Almost all points of past contention, the president said, have been agreed to between the U.S. and Iran. We should point out we have not yet heard from the Iranian government to corroborate all of this. In the days leading up to this, there was public messaging from Iran that talks had stalled. The president, frustrated over oil prices and the strait being tied up, said the deal must be agreeable to him, though he was tight-lipped on what that meant exactly. The president's language this morning, talking about the end of civilization, created a fracture among some of the president's most loyal allies, including Senator Johnson of Wisconsin. We talked with a historian about why the president, in his estimation, felt boxed in, and a political insider on how rare this language is.
Show some sort of strength in a moment in which he feels weak, in which oil prices are rising and he doesn't know how to reopen the Strait of Hormuz.
Well, I've never heard that before. I'm checking through history. I don't think that's ever been said before, even in World War II, before we dropped the atomic bomb, I think.
Since the war began in February, Trump has set a series of deadlines threatening escalation of the conflict, only to back off just before they expire. So, Joe, I think there's going to be a lot of parsing through. Did the president blink? Was this savvy negotiating? So we'll continue to follow it, of course, very closely.
Despite all of the talk and the rhetoric, there's always been this question of, can President Trump find an off-ramp?
Right.
Because this is what, as you said, these experts are saying he's been boxed in with a number of these threats.
And what does a win look like, both politically and on the ground in Iran? So, again, the key thing tonight that we'll be watching for in the next few hours is messaging from Iran, because we have only heard the president's side of things. We need to hear if they agree with this and whether or not they will agree to the strait opening up, because that's conditional here.
That is the key. All right, Chris, thank you for the update. Appreciate it. In response to the president's threats, there is a growing chorus of lawmakers in Congress calling for him to be removed from office using the 25th Amendment. That includes Democratic Representatives Mike Quigley, Delia Ramirez, Jan Schakowsky, and Sean Casten. The 25th Amendment allows the vice president and a majority of the cabinet to temporarily remove a president they deem unfit for duties. 2/3 of the House and Senate would have to agree.